So if you'd like to make a short presentation, that's okay. It's up to you. I know you've done that already, but if you have any comments.
Maybe see if we could build the clinic, a new building, instead of rehabbing the existing one. So we think that's our plan going forward. We'd love to be able to do that. Unfortunately, that lot to the west is a little smaller than our building we have now. So in order for us to fit the building that we'd like to have and expand it a little bit bigger and expand some services, we need that right away in between to allow us to fit the building and the parking. And people will still be able to get from the end of Monroe Street through our parking lot to, as long as they do it at a safe speed. We got a couple of issues now that we're trying to deal with there, but we'll still be able to get through there. And certainly emergency vehicles would, if they need to be, would certainly be able to do that. So we're here asking for your decision to vacate that and allow us to have that property to help develop a new building there sometime. So happy to answer any questions you might have or the public has. We're thrilled to be able to stay in Knightstown, and we love the community and want to continue to be part of it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And so we have actually already heard this in the previous meeting, but now we'll take public comments. If anyone has a public comment, please come up, state your name, your address, and make your comments. You'll have up to 2 minutes. Thank you.
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing and convene the regular town council meeting.
All right, motion is second. All in favor of closing the public hearing and reconvening the regular meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. We are back in our regular meeting. All right, so now we're ready for approval of minutes. We've got 2 minutes, one from 6:19 and one from 6:30. Both were public hearings. The first one was a regular council meeting and the second was a special meeting. Any updates? I think everyone was here. So any comments, we can take them together if you want. Are there any updates? If not, we can entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular town council meeting minutes, June 19th, 2025.
I will second it.
Got one of those, I hope. Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve both meeting minutes, June 19th and June 30th. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now we are in our regular public comments period. If you have a comment, as before, come up to the podium, state your name, your address, and make your comments. You'll have up to 2 minutes.
Hey, Lou. My name's Mark Tompkins. I live here at 117 North Franklin Street. This is Joetta.
Joetta Savis. I live on Brown Street, next door to him.
And we are here to petition to get a alley vacated, the one between our two homes. Nobody's used it for years. I've been here for 10, 11 years. He's been here 30-something years, never grown up it. So, but we have, I don't know if we've done this right. Ben helped us today. This week, we've got all these copies. Might not even be right. A petition. I can pass these out. We did the survey, or on the last page is the all the stuff you need. It's got the plat, legal papers and everything. So can I pass these out to everybody?
Sure, that's fine. So there's obviously a process that's similar to what we're going through with the hospital, so it'll take some time and to review it, and, okay, this is a starting point
We
then.
just wanted to get it started tonight.
Sure.
Joetta Savas,
So,
Savas, S-A-V-A-S.
Hey,
So-
Mark, this is the alley north of your place?
this is between the pink house, 18 and hers.
18
Is
East,
this
East
is a
Brown, and
north-
24 East Brown.
Yeah, north-south alley, yeah. East of the pink house, yeah, between, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It is a north-south alley. So, and it goes to, tees into another alley behind us. So, whatever else you need, just let me
Okay.
know.
Thank you. We'll begin the process to
Yeah, let's
review, and
begin it. And if there's
like I
anything
said, it'd take us a,
you don't see that's
Thank
on
you.
here, let us know. We'd be glad to get it for you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I
Thank
just
you.
had one question.
Yeah.
What is the reason you want to vacate the alley?
Oh, reason? Well,
Uh-huh.
there's just, I mean, nobody goes up it. It would give her another property line because it's 14 feet. So what we'll divide 7 feet each. 7 feet will go to her property, 7 feet will go to the 18 East. That will allow her for a fence if she wants one there, and or a maybe fence or anything like that. And then we can get a dumpster in there to get started on that pink house to remodel it too. You know, I put dumpsters in there before. I knew it was an alley, but nobody used it. But then this way, we would have no problem between neighbors here and get this done. And that's basically it. I mean, there's nobody, like I said, there's no utilities, right? So
And
we
I'd like
checked-
to have 7 more foot on my property.
Yeah. So
So I can put in a pool and put my fence up.
there you go. All righty, thanks.
all right, thank you. Anyone else on public comments?
Hi, I'm Mike Carnes. I'm actually a resident of Kennard, not Knightstown. We're here tonight because we recently started an ice cream truck. Drive around town, sell ice cream, and all the kids bring back the memories I remember growing up. I'm sure all of you. And I was told we needed to come here and bring that in front of you guys first and see if that's something we could do.
So you want to be able to run your truck in town? How often?
You know, I'm
What's
not
your-
really dead set on how often.
Okay.
First, I mean, we wanted to be able to do it. That was the main thing.
Okay. So the first thing that comes to my mind is safety and, you know, what are processes to make sure kids aren't running to the truck? You know, I don't know how you control that, but I don't know. There's a
So we
comment there?
I actually recently, just today, did get a new van, so we don't have anything on it yet. I'm gonna have there'll be flashing lights on it. Everything will be served from the curbside, so we don't have kids running across the street. You know, mirrors, just doing the best we can too, to always watching. So
All right, thank you.
Would it mainly be a traveling truck, or would you want to like station it anywhere?
I think mainly we would want to be able to travel. I don't think sitting places would be. It might be something we would look into, but our real goal is to be able to travel around. Yep.
Some communities have, and this is sort of a food truck, not exactly as we normally think of it. Some communities have an ordinance regarding food trucks, but the
Okay, so we won't make a decision to tell him yes or no. You're saying that Board of Health would do that?
I think you can give him, when he gives you the paperwork, you can give him sort of a provisional okay, because you're gonna see how he operates and if you receive citizen complaints, what those are, and then address those. So it's probably gonna be a rather fluid situation back and forth.
Period, or just listening for public comment? Okay,
It's probably just the long weather months.
Right.
okay.
And we already have done that with Henry County, have all the paperwork with them through the health department. We've already,
So you have that paperwork already?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
have it with me, but
Sure,
yeah.
so you can get that to us.
We've
and-
already registered the business with the state, everything,
Okay,
so. Okay,
okay, thank you.
thank you.
Are there other public comments? Anyone? All right, thank you. We'll move on. All right, we're ready for the police report.
A newer, quicker version. I'll try. I should knock on wood.
Can you turn toward yourself?
Oh, yes.
Just stand there if you would.
Okay, I'll reach over. It's just hard to be quiet about something we're so proud of and moving forward quickly. It's hard to not talk a lot. So our patrol hours were 947.5 hours since our last board meeting. That's combines paid and reserves. We had 219 calls for service since 6/19, a little bit down from the previous period. Security checks, 55 in that same period. And again, that's where we go and check on the doors and make sure we had a couple open doors and alerted people to those. Traffic stops, 250 stops since June 19th. Tickets issued, it looks like we wrote 92 tickets and real tickets, I call them, and then 48 warnings, if I'm reading 48 warnings. School bus patrols, none yet. 547 gallons of gas in that period. I won't go through and read all these, but you can see we had 32 arrests. The guys have been really busy. A bunch of drug arrests. I'm glad they're getting them off the roadway, but I wish they weren't there to take off the roadway. Domestic violence was down a little bit, but we did have a couple of those. And one day on day shift, we had 3 DUIs. Now that's some patrol. And then later that night, they had another one at night. But I just can't say enough about these guys are out and going above and beyond and looking more than just speeders. And they're going after those intoxicated drivers. And you get the intoxicated driver, and we're finding drugs in the cars. So I think that's really nice, and be proud of this team that you all have assembled that's getting that kind of stuff off the roadway in a short period of time. And that's just to continue. I'll be glad to give those lists to you if you want. And that's all the numbers. I promised I'd go faster. The only thing I'm here reaching out about is the body-worn cameras, the upgrade, and we had an extensive, really nice conversation in the police committee meeting. So Jeffrey, do you want to, let me just turn it over to you and you.
So me and Bruce attended the police committee meeting. That was today at 5 o'clock. And one of the biggest issues we're talking about is the body cameras. The body cameras we currently have for the department, they're getting old. They're outdated. The software's hard for the guys to retract information out of them. They've got long lists of people that are wanting body cam footage. The printout that we put in the packet is from Axon. Axon is like the leader in the body cam world. They were the ones that actually started body cameras however many years ago that was. But we were looking at a service plan, and I think the service plan, Landon, was what, 5 years, right? And it was going to be around the $26,000 to $28,000 range, and that's all full time. That's 2 reserves, and that's 24/7 service from Axon. That's the whole work.
Was that 8 body cam? But they were trying to decide, so we got We originally said 7, but then we decided there should be more than just one for the reserves in case there's another reserve or for a spare. Jeffrey pointed out that like if one is broken or doesn't work right, we would have an extra while that one was in the shop.
So I think we lean more towards the 9. Yeah, so I'm not asking for the 20, however much thousand it is. I think the better plan to do is Axon offers a service plan of X amount of dollars per year for 5 years.
So you're saying that's 26,000 total for 5 years?
That's the 26,000 for 5 years. That was only the 7 that we were quoted before. So I think, me personally, I think we need 9. I think the reserves need 1, and I think we need another floater just in case we have 8 cameras and one of them breaks, that we're not sharing cameras and that one doesn't get returned, and it just would create a problem.
Okay, quick question. So I thought, maybe I misunderstood. Did you say 7 or 8? So is 9 the right number? Because I thought 8 was the right number.
The original quote was for 7, and they talked about getting an extra, maybe 2. So that would be up. I'll order however many you guys approve. So 9 would be ideal.
So, but 9 2 extra or 1 extra?
2 extra.
Okay. So do we need 1 or 2?
That'd be 1 for the reserve and then 1 extra for the whole department.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So
6
the
officers.
7 did not
yeah.
include reserves.
7 included 1 for reserves. It's 6, 1 for each full-time guy, 1 for reserves.
Okay.
They decided that they probably have 2 for reserves and a spare, which makes
Okay, 2
9.
plus a spare.
Yes.
Yeah, because the issue we're kind of running into with the reserves is that there can be more than 1 reserve working at a time. So that's my thinking on it. I don't know if anybody has anything else with that.
And one thing that includes the storage. We don't have to have a cloud. That's everything. And it's they also offer to pay for that over a period of 5 years, since that's how long the service happens. So you could divide that 26 or whatever it ends up being with the extra cameras, divide it by 5 years and pay that per year. Get the same service, the same cloud, the same everything. Axon just started a new service, a replacement fee. So if you have the 5-year service, they will, after the 5th year, they'll replace the cameras and upgrade them for a much lesser fee than what it would be to buy a brand new camera if we would need it. So
they take them back and refurbish or whatever. And
what'd you say?
They resell used ones or whatever. Is that what they
Yeah.
do? Okay.
Well, that would be new ones.
No, we would get brand
I'm
new
saying
ones.
they take our used ones
Yes.
back and then they might
Yeah,
resell
just
them. So
upgrade
that's how
them.
they justify the
Upgrade's probably a better. Yeah.
Okay, so are we asking to go ahead and make a decision? Is there a need for multiple bids?
That would be awesome to go ahead and make a decision, but that's certainly up to you. But
Is there a requirement on something like this to do bidding?
State law is anything under $50,000,
You don't have to bid it, okay.
Me personally,
but that's you could vary.
We don't have a final cost here though, right? So this is for 7.
for 7, so
We don't know what 9 costs yet.
No, because
Okay.
there's the yearly fee. You buy the camera, they're about $800, and then there's a yearly fee for 7 cameras of $1,600 just for the licenses and the storage and all that. So, but
Gotta
that's
have the
included
razor
in the
blades.
26. So it'll be more.
Yeah, so we need that number, I think, to make a decision. We could say up to, we've done that before.
Laney, the quote's for 7, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The quote's for 7, and currently right now your yearly payment would be $5,284. So you could easily do for up to $6,500, because that should cover the additional 2. And that way, you're going to be in the roundabout, right? Wouldn't you think 1,300 more would cover 2 additional?
I would think that'd be
So,
more than enough.
I
Yeah.
think if you did like the up to part, that should cover if we did the 5-year plan.
Okay, any comments, council? Are you interested in?
these are the top of the line body cam. I'm not a sales rep for them, but this is the go-to company for body cam.
The problem we have with the current ones is there's no redaction function. There's no anything. It's really
Yeah, we have major issues. I know you have
Yes.
trouble getting things to the county, you said, and
it's been
it's
awful.
very
Yeah.
cumbersome. They're very concerned about your ability to get that
Yes.
information to them, right?
Well, the good news is we just reallocated. We got the additional appropriations. We put them for the record, and that police department supplies line item 1101001214.000. So that's the good news. So we have the money there. That's why we did that.
Does everybody like the service plan option, or we like the spending the money all up front? Because I'm a fan of the service plan.
I mean, if it's not a
myself.
lot more expensive, sure, let's pay it over 5 years. And that includes service, so I assume if you have problems, they're gonna solve that for you and all those things.
It's a warranty, 5-year warranty, so when the cameras are done, then the warranty's done, so it's,
I guess if there's interest, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we purchase the Axon body cameras. How much do we need to put that up to, Roxanne?
I think if you did 6,500, you're covered.
Up to the 6,500 per year for the Axon body cameras.
All right, we have a motion and a second to purchase the body cameras over a 5-year period. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
and as I promised Ian, do you have any more questions for me? And I know myself and all the officers thank you for that vote. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Landon.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Works Manager report.
First thing I want to talk about's the paving project. O'Mara got everything milled this week, and they started the paving today. And for the first time in many years, you can drive down Washington Street in front of the Hoosier Gym, and it's pretty smooth. Matter of fact, it looks really nice. They got that done today, and they also got one little spot on Madison Street today. They'll be back tomorrow, weather permitting. So I said this last night at the utility committee. I think this council should be commended for, you know, stepping up and being able, Bart, coming up with the money to get this kind of paving project done. I think it's really going to help the people of the town out. Yeah. Roxanna, the girls in the office, everybody. If we had the area from 109 to Franklin Street on Morgan Street, if we had that paved, and if we had that Lake Drive down to the Little League Diamonds paved, we would be real close to having everything in pretty good order, with the exception of some potholes and a few little areas like that. And I spoke to John about that today with O'Mara, and just for the heck of it, I'm going to have him give me a quote on what it would take to pave from 109 to Franklin and Lake Drive. So I'm going to meet with him sometime next week and just see where we're at cost-wise with that. The other thing, every water dig, every sewer dig that we've done in the streets, it's all been concreted. We've got everything concreted back, so everything looks nice. Dave and Brian, the guys at Utility Unlimited, do a great job on that. You know, we've been able to bundle concrete work, and when we have a concrete truck come to town, we do multiple jobs, you know, which is really making great improvements, I think. We've got a few more things like that we're going to do. Monday, I've got a guy from Advanced Rehabilitation Technology. His name's Isaiah Hell, and he's going to come down and look at the clear well, and I'm going to talk to him. He's going to give me a cost on what it's going to take to refurbish it with epoxy coatings, that type of thing. We'll talk to him about the length, ask him a bunch of questions, see what it's going to take to make something happen with that. If nothing else, at least IDEM's looking at the fact that I'm trying to do something about it, you know. So we'll see where that goes. Next meeting, I'll hopefully have something. Got a couple more people I'm going to call to get them to look at that, so I can put multiple costs together with multiple opinions on what it would take. I think if nothing else, if we just get the thing cleaned out, if somehow, in order to isolate it, you got to put a variable speed pump on the well pump so it'll keep up with the high service pump. So that's going to be a little bit of a process. But if we could somehow do that and get the thing cleaned out, that would help us a bunch right there. So kind of trying to work towards that. So that's the clear well, right? The clear well, yeah. That's what our well water Our well water, that's actually part of the treatment process. Our well water is pumped into the clear well, and it's supposed to sit there for a period of time. That's sedimentation, and let stuff settle out of it, and then we pull it through the plant. Over the years, it's developed a lot of iron in there, and that works our filters extremely hard. And that's why sometimes when you backwash, or like when we had that high service pump change out and we move valves and stuff in the plant, people experience rusty brown water. That's iron coming from that. So that would help this water system tremendously if we could ever get that fixed. Tuesday, I have Gordon Meyer coming out with the Alliance of Indiana Rural Water, and we're going to flow test the fire hydrants. We're going to get that taken care of Tuesday. I talked a little bit last night about some of the, in the utility committee meeting, about the cemetery, some of the issues we've had out there. I mean, it's been hard to keep up with. We've had storm damage. We've had trees down. Tree took out 3 sections of our fence. There's been a couple days where I've had all 5 people that I have out there trying to keep up with it. I've had Pat Smoot mow extra. I've had him mow the old part a couple times. I thought I had a guy hired for part-time to do some weed eating for 20 hours a week, and then found out he couldn't do it because he had to be paid in cash because he draws some kind of month, so we can't do that. It's hard to find that guy. I mean, if they're good enough to do that, they've got a job that pays them well, and if they're retired or something, they're like me, it's too hard on them to sit there and weed eat all day, you know, or for the 20 hours that you're asking them to do that. So that's kind of a tough deal, but you know, I'm still looking for that right person, and hopefully we can find somebody to help us out, you know, with that. And try to, you know, like I said last night, I've not been very pleased with the way the cemetery looks since Memorial Day. Weed eating's really been an issue with it. I do have plans next week also, if everything goes right, to get some hot patch, fix some of these potholes that we've got, get that taken care of. Let's see. I think that's pretty much everything I've had to talk about tonight. Any questions, anything? Job opening for the sewer plant. Roxanne and I talked about that today. We're going to try to get something posted on the Alliance site. Maybe there's a guy out there that already has a license, which would be greatly beneficial to the town. That way you don't have to go through the whole training process and spending all that money and then it not working out, you know. Doug is scheduled next week to take his DSM test again. Hopefully he'll eventually conquer that, and he'll at least have half of his license. It takes 2 licenses to run the Knightstown water plant, so hopefully he's working towards that. Again, that's a tough deal. It's a lot of people struggle with that.
Anything else?
Anything else?
You said the hydrant testing is Monday
Tuesday.
or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Let anybody know about that, Randy, before it happens?
We could possibly put something on Facebook. I think the only effect it might have is some people might experience some brown water. That's what happens when you open hydrants.
I think that's worth letting people know. They know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
If we can always communicate in advance so they know something's
Right.
happening.
If not, there'd be a
It's
few
not
phone
random.
calls. Right.
Okay.
No, we'll just probably use the list that I've got there, and we'll go with those. It'll be in a couple certain different areas and stuff. You obviously can't do every one of them, and you can't open that many fire hydrants in one day. You would create problems. Yeah.
Is this something we pay for?
No, this is a free service.
Can we just get them here every year then?
We probably can. It's never been required to do every year. That's why we've always done it every 5 years. And the thing that you'll find out is this system's been the same for 50 years. It's the same water tower. It's the same water main size. It's the same service pumps pumping the same 375 gallons a minute and all that stuff that it's done. So your numbers aren't going to really change. I think that's one reason why you only do it every 5 years. Now, if you had a main expansion, extension, change the size of something, then you're going to see some different numbers. But until you do that, it's going to be pretty close. We've just had our high service pumps upgraded, so they're pumping at max capacity. So everything should be pretty normal.
Helps with the insurance for the people too.
You talking every year?
Every 5 years.
Every-
'Cause it hadn't
every
been done for
y-
years
y-
when I was chief, and then we started doing it again.
Yeah, we worked with it on the last
Oh,
time.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's when we found out that we could get it done free.
Yeah.
We were looking to pay somebody.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we can just get that record over the fire department
Yep.
when that happens on Tuesday, and
Yep.
yeah,
Sure can.
I have a
Yeah.
question. If we do it more often, like not every 5 years, wouldn't you know what hydrants
What's that?
are working?
Yeah, so we've got to have, I'm sorry, but we're going to have anybody who wants to talk, come up to the podium. We're required to have the audio and video, so if you have something to say, you can come up. Since you. Normally, we only have public comments, but she's kind of connected here, right?
I'm fine. My question was, Susan Van Hoy, I'm on the trustee on the fire board. My question is, if we do it more often than every 5 years, isn't that ensuring that our fire hydrants are working for emergencies? And I know it's only 5 years, because that's, even when Mike was the fire chief, that's a requirement, but my thoughts are, how do we know all of these are working? That's my
So we
thought.
do flush fire hydrants. We do
Okay.
flush fire hydrants in the spring and in the fall.
Okay.
And, notes are made if we find one that's not working
Okay.
correctly.
Could we get a
that type
list
of
of
thing.
those too, when you do those?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
all.
we've even, and Bruce can vouch for this. Remember, we put oil in how many of those Muellers? Actually, the Mueller hydrants, the bonnet, they actually hold oil. There's a little set screw. And I think we did every one of them when
Yeah, we
you
just
were here.
need to know, that's
Right.
all, for
Okay.
paperwork. Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope, you're good,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Randy. I'm going to look around and check. Is anybody here from Gonzalez? I don't see anyone, but I wanted to open the door to that. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Roger, can I add one other thing real quick? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the fire.
I'm in the TV police.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be, but.
And kind of directed towards Susie and fire department people is, and I've talked about this before, but we do charge people $5 a month for a fire hydrant rental in their neighborhood. So if you're a fire hydrant, you're paying $5 a month for the closest fire hydrant to you. And that was intended to go towards fire hydrants, but that money never got put in a separate fund. It goes into the water department fund and makes it look like it's more revenue for the water department. And the previous council, when Sarah was president, they made a commitment to change a fire hydrant every year. And we've kind of got away from that. But my opinion is you should use that fire hydrant rental money and apply that towards your fire hydrants.
Hey, I don't remember seeing that on the bill separately. Is that just like added in, or how's it?
It's in the rate.
Yeah.
It's in the rate, okay, okay.
If you looked at the rate study that Brock did, you'll see
Okay, it's listed there, okay.
We did that back when we were with the regulatory commission, and that was something we could do.
I agree with you, Randy. I think we should split that out in some way if we can in a fund so that we have that money allocated to spend on fire hydrants. I know that's extra work, Bart, but
But yeah, we can.
if you can start to plan for that so we can get it split out,
I'll try if they'll
it's a lot of,
let me, yep.
it'd be quite a lot of money over time, I'm sure.
yeah, and I'd like to see it every other year, not 5. I mean, everybody's paying for it. The new housing additions in town, all that stuff.
Right.
If it's free.
Okay, thanks,
Okay.
Randy.
Thank you.
All right, we're up to new business, so we're gonna talk about request for waiver of permit fees for 2 residential properties that I believe are some nonprofits are doing work.
Yes. Benjamin Bolin, those of you who don't know. There's a page that, page showing the addresses or question about. Oh. The Wilkerson, without naming names here in the addresses, I don't think that's important for us to point out, but we have the Wilkerson Church of Christ that comes to our town normally about every year, this time of the year, to do a service week with their parishioners. and it's all volunteers. This year they have chosen 4 families. I've gave you a list of those 4 families in the Knightstown area. As a building inspector, they reached out to me to see if they would be required to have a permit. I have issued permits in the past to them and inspected the work that was being done on behalf of our residents to make sure everything was being done properly and finished completely. Of these 4 on the list that I've given you, the project is starting July the 21st. We had 236 that started today, cleaning up and preparing. But the list for the last 2, as you can read there and see, they are in an area where, in a group of work where they would require a remodel alteration permit. The first 2 on the list are assisting elderly people with some situations the church is getting involved in, and cleaning and small repairs. The other 2 are getting into some more major work. And so my suggestion, since it is a non-chargeable profit thing for our community, 2 families, I issue a permit, just like I would for anyone else, and with your permission, which has to come from the council, if we could waive the fee for those 2 permits, but yet with this application, I would still do the inspections. Otherwise, the church is going to have to pay for the permit fee. And
So how much are these permits?
$45 each.
They're kind of minimum, they're 45 each?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a remodel
So we're
alteration.
talking $90 total for these permits?
Pardon me?
90 total for the
No,
permits?
45.
There's 2 of them, right?
Yes, the last 2 that I got the
Right.
star by.
So 90 total is all I would say, $90
Yes,
for both
$90
permits.
total, and everything is mostly just remodel alteration.
Okay. But you'll still inspect and you'll do the
Yeah,
normal
that's the
process?
idea. With this, I have permission to go in on the property, inspect. I've turned in a service ticket for protecting the electrical on one of them today with Katie's help, and being proactive so that when they start work next week, the electrical would be safe for them to be around. The drop has some safety concerns.
Okay.
So I've already been to both sites.
Sure.
To look at some of the work. I believe it would say something positive about the town welcoming the church. Mr. Hammer's familiar with some of the work that we did. Our church has been involved in. Some of the local churches, members get involved, trying to help them during this service week of work with their church group to do this for families in the community. I could stand here and tell you a number of addresses, but I won't do that. But Mr. Hammer's familiar with one that we worked on, and he assisted with a few years back on Brown. It was a major, and that house is still standing today and still a good home for the community. So this is a way to restore the 2 I've got the star on and help give it some tender loving care from a community volunteer group of people.
All right, thanks, Ben. I'm going to look at the council and ask if there's interest in this. I'm personally, I know personally, I think we have to be careful at how we create equality, I'll say, between residents but to me, since this is somebody doing this work for free as a not-for-profit, as a church, and they're doing something for their own people of the church, personally, I think it's a great idea, but I'll listen to others.
I just wanted to ask, I think it's a great project for the church, but how are these particular properties chosen? Do the property owners come to the church and ask, or?
Somebody in their family has reached out to them. I don't know how many of you know Anthony Darling, but he's the pastor there, so he just told me they were chosen through the church, their needs, its family needs, and some of them, the first 2 are small, but it's important to them, and so the church gets together and they really are organized, and they throw out the things that are the needs in the community. And for this 1 week, this has been going on for a month, preparing for this, getting the materials together, getting things ready to come and do this, even if they have to pay for the permit. But I just think it'd say something positive, because the two of the families, I do not believe the two go to the church up there. They live in this town, residents in the town, pay taxes in the town, but their homes are just needing some TLC. And the church is offering to do it. So
Okay.
it was my thought. Nobody asked. It's my thought. I threw it out there. If I have to go by the fee schedule, I'm asking if you all would consider waiving the $45 fee schedule for the two addresses that I have the stars by for the Wilkerson Church, for the work that they're going to be doing at these two homes. If not, then they'll have to pay for the fee, because I have no alternative but to charge them.
Okay, let's make a decision.
Yeah, have we waived fees in the past for nonprofits?
We've waived fees in the past. Come up here and give them.
Linda Santoro, 38 Santoro. Can I make a donation to pay for them for you?
Sure.
And that way the town doesn't have to make a
Dr.
decision?
Ben? Oh, you want to donate the
I'll
money to
donate
pay
the
for permits?
$90.
That's fine too, if you want, okay.
Is that okay, Ben?
Praise God, yes.
Yeah.
That young lady
Well,
right over there, take
You,
a check
that makes
from
it
her.
easy.
Thank you.
Okay,
To the town of Knightstown.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We weren't soliciting, but we appreciate it.
God provides, doesn't it?
All right, we're ready to move on to street vacation ordinance. I don't know if the street's going on vacation, but
This is ordinance number 06, see, you get on camera, everybody's a comedian. Camera's not on me, it's over. This is ordinance 061925 on second reading, on its passage actually. An ordinance vacating a public way within the town of Knightstown, Indiana. And this is the ordinance that you had the public hearing on earlier. So this just takes a motion to approve and majority vote.
all right, thank you.
I'll make the motion to approve ordinance number 061925.
All right, we have a motion, and a second, for the ordinance to vacate the street, 061925. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Your street is vacated.
Thank you very, very much.
And thank you for building in Knightstown.
And Harold, Martin will record that and we'll get you a copy. You'll need that probably. Send him a copy.
Hey, Greg, were the two amendments updated in that ordinance? Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, we're ready to move on to, well, we covered fire hydrant testing, right?
It's the.
Oh, no, we want to talk about the fittings.
The fittings.
So Randy, you want to bring that up?
Hey, Randy, the lieutenant from the fire department's here to give a demonstration on them.
Go ahead.
Would you give us your name and spell your last name?
Yeah, Caleb Buchanan, Buchanan, Caleb with a K. So Fire Chief summoned me to come and explain why this Storts connection is going to be important for the fire hydrants through town. Right now, what we're operating on are threaded fire hydrants. So when we roll up to a fire, and imagine they're much bigger than this, this is just an example of kind of what I have. We are threading on here.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to back you up a little bit. We
Yep.
talked about this in the utility meeting.
Yep.
So just for context.
Yeah.
The request, I think that's going to come here is going to be for some new special fittings that
Yep.
are, I think, like quick connects,
Yep,
basically.
which is this
instead
right
of-
here.
So go right ahead.
So this is the difference. So we have different threads here that you can see. Landon, can I borrow you for a minute? I always like to have a police officer hold fire equipment. Makes my day. The difference in what we're gonna be doing here is just hold that and then hold kind of that in place. This is a Storts connection, so it's, if we were to roll up in a house fire, we could leave one guy at the hydrant, or the chauffeur or the driver could go back. He puts this on, and we're connected. It's a quarter turn, we're connected, and we're able to get a water supply. So, good job, Landon. As opposed to where we're coming into thread, okay, we can get them cross-threaded, mis-threaded. Say Shirley's coming down, some municipalities have special threads for their municipality. Their threads might not be compatible with our hydrants. We run into that just in different locations. Some places, I don't know what they have, but this is what the alternative.
Everybody has that?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone's will have Storts connections. They usually, when you buy the hose, you can buy it with it, or you can buy an adapter for your hose with the Storts connection. And if it's a house fire in town, we're probably gonna be the first ones on the hydrant anyways. So we'll be able to, it's a half turn, we're connected, and we have a water supply, which is gonna make or break a house fire, especially if we're running out of water.
So I was
waiting for
gonna
tankers.
ask you, so you pull up on a fire and it takes maybe a minute or so to put a screw type on there. How much change is there in that fire in that minute that you're going to take to do that?
I'll try not to get super passionate about this, but it takes the first 10 minutes of fire makes or breaks the fire. So our fire truck right now, we have 1,000 gallons on that truck. It pumps 12,500 gallons, 1,250 gallons per minute. So that is, you could deplenish your tank in a minute. The time it takes for us to hook to this, which we've done it forever. I mean, it works. But the time it takes to hook to this could be the difference in we have guys inside, we run out of water, now we're hitting evacuation tones to get people out, as opposed to we do a quick quarter turn. Also, you gotta think sometimes these threads, they get damaged. I mean, firemen, we're not easy with our stuff. You know, it bumps around, damaged threads. We could cross thread it. It's not gonna fit correctly. Or say we're having a problem, someone has to come in and put their threads on and they're not adaptable to what we have. It would be just more foolproof and, you know, a fail-safe to put on these Storts connections.
So yeah, I'm not challenging, I wanted everybody to hear that.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's the difference if your wife and kids are in the house and we're trying to make a push, but we run out of water. Unfortunately, that's our, you know, kind of like a police officer, they have their taser, their gun. Our safety is our water. When we run out of it, we can't hang out. It gets really hot really quick.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Pricing wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't know who was gonna do that.
Irv has a quote. Obviously he did not provide me the quote. I know that the most that you would spend to do, I think he told me it was for 16 hydrants. The most.
16 hydrants.
The highest amount, and I think this would be extremely high, would be 6,500.
You guys have a quote in your packets for 16. It's at the lowest price we found.
Yes, and I think that one's at about just over $5,000.
Is the
No, it's
Mid-
actually well under. It's actually under $4,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the Mid-America Fire, are they the ones that put the fittings on the hydrants, or is that something Randy's crew's got to do, or?
I think that Randy's crew would have to do it. I think they will just provide the new fitting that would go on. It would stay.
Hey, Randy, that's something you guys can easily get done?
I don't think it would be a problem.
We just gotta make sure that we order the correct size, so 5-inch, 4-inch, and we get the correct thread for what we have, which
I
something I
happen
can.
to know the salesman at Mid-America, so if we need him, I can cajole him
Yeah.
into coming. It's my brother.
And your fire
he's a
chief
fire-
can
he's
get
a
all the,
firefighter in Noblesville too, so.
your fire chief can get all the hydrant fitting sizes that we're gonna need?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything. These are universal adapted. So yeah, we'll get everything that we need on our end to put on our trucks, and we'll actually probably buy a couple extra. So if someone else is coming in and they don't have it, we'll take the extra off our truck and give to them, so they can
So is
also
the
bring in.
39,1984, is that a good number? Is that a number that needs to be increased? Is that a, do you
That's-
know?
I will tell you, Craig talked to Lane Olszewski.
Yeah.
He called Lane directly and spoke with Lane and asked Lane exactly what he was looking for, what he needed. And then he talked
Yeah.
to Randy about the size and the fittings and stuff, so that's your quote, I guess, for exactly what Lane told him you needed.
Yeah.
I don't,
The other quote that we had was $100 more per fitting, so I don't have any ties to them, but
Pretty good quote.
I would
huh?
go
Okay.
with that. So, anything else? Can I answer any more questions? Anybody?
Doesn't look like it, thank you.
Okay.
And
Yep.
the new trucks are gonna have all these fittings, right?
Yes. Yep.
And-
We will adapt everything with
Yeah.
everything new. So,
Make a motion to approve this?
I'd
Then-
like to make a motion to approve the quote from Mid-America Fire and Safety LLC for $3,919.84 for 16 hydrant converters at $244.99 each.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of buying the hydrant converters, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, our motion carries. All right, so the next item on our list for new business is discussion of existing utility office position, possible reclassification. That's on you, Bart, to talk about?
Yeah, we, on the salary ordinance, which we kind of got a little bit of a history lesson. Thanks for pushing that. There are actually 6 positions in our office. 2 of them are part-time. Sometimes they forget about the one. There was a lady that used to work here named Jenny Feedback, and she left. We never actually filled that full-time position. That full-time position is existing, and the mindset was I wanted to start a discussion about, you know, somebody that would be kind of like a floater, to be able to do multiple things. As far as the payroll, Roxanne and I have talked about out of the payroll allocations, you know, they could be divided by 4. It would be a good thing. They could help Randy as well, help Landon, help all the department heads and Roxana. And it'd kind of almost be like a floater, somebody that would be, you know, actually with all the department heads. They could be that assistant. I guess we could title it anything, but we put that as the department assistant for the heads. So, but that's I want to start that discussion. I mean, we think it's probably needed. We're kind of getting short staffed now. It seems like everybody's kind of going around, like Randy was talking about out in the cemetery, the guys are having to help out there and everything's kind of short staffed. So the mindset, and the department heads have a lot of paperwork to do. But I know Randy has a lot as well. And so, you know, if Landon's got tons, I know. So, you know, if they could help do that, this person would be kind of a floater. And they could be divided by 4, 25% out of each, all 3 utilities, and then 25% out of the general fund. So that would be kind of for the payroll. That's good news. And the position is still, you know, it was passed, fully funded, and we allocated that, you know, about $10,000 per slot, from memory serves me right, from the budget for 2025. When I put it on Gateway and we got it all approved and everything, so it has been funded, you know, at least for the rest of this year. So, you know, if we wanted to act this year, we could. We still got a few months left, you know, or you know, we wait till next year's budget. But I mean, I think somebody's definitely needed, you know, that position. So that was kind of what I just wanted to kind of put that out there to the council and give you guys to give you that information that is some availability for someone.
Could I speak? Would you mind? One, I would like to say that we already in the utility office assist Randy with a lot of stuff. We've been trying to really pick up and help those guys, especially with their paperwork. They're in the field. It's not easy for them. So we already try to do that now. We try to help Landon as much as possible, but this person is kind of to be geared more towards, you know, doing a lot of the police paperwork and filling in the utility office where needed. But also we need another physical body, because there's 3 of us. Lisa's supposed to only be part-time. She works more full-time hours than she does part-time. I mean, there's days I have to send her home so she doesn't go over, you know, 80 hours. But Lisa is also looking at potentially needing quite a bit of time off or shortened hours because she has a child with a health scare right now, and she's going to have to be off work and help with this. So, and the problem there is like, for example, several weeks ago I had vacation days, but Katie had a doctor's appointment follow-up after her surgery. Lisa had an appointment on 2 different days, but we had to find somebody to be in the office with them so they're not in that office by themselves. I don't want to ask anyone to be in that office. We handle cash. We have all kinds of documents, you know, in it. So we need another physical body in there, but we are trying to gear more towards helping our police department, ensuring that they've got someone. I would like to look for someone who can help potentially write at least the small grants that they need. I don't know that I can find anybody that can write big grants. I'm not looking for that. But, you know, to write the small grants, that kind of thing, but also kind of help Landon with scheduling, payroll, that kind of thing. So that was where I really felt like we needed it. But again, we really need the body in there to keep from us being short-staffed and not having enough people.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the council or questions?
Are we wanting to promote or get someone new?
Oh, no, we're gonna hire someone new.
Somebody new, like application, they need to turn in an application, all that stuff?
Yes.
So just a comment, and now that I've heard the discussion, that's helpful. So maybe this is a separate need, but I've always thought that the council could really use, I hesitate to call them a project manager, but somebody to accomplish some of the needs or desires of the council outside of, council meetings, and to help move grants along and to work on projects that many times frankly just don't get done because we all have other work. So I would like to consider that in the future, but we can talk more about this position right now.
It's already in the salary ordinance for this position, and there's nobody in this position now.
Right.
So it's not like you would need to amend the salary ordinance, and it's money that you're not spending now because of that vacancy.
Right.
I thought you said it was in the salary.
Yep. Highlighted in yellow, the one that we're actually talking, the actual position and the salary and everything. It does kind of a breakdown, then the biweekly pay and all that. But it's only the only thing highlighted yellow is the change point.
I guess I don't know what I'm looking at. How many hours per week?
I mean, this could be a full-time, we can talk about that as well. We would like for it to be 40 hours, a full-time position. I mean, I think if we offer this person, the good thing is, like I said, it can be divided by 4, with the payroll allocations out of all 4. If they help Randy in the utilities and Landon out of police, so we'd be able to come out of different funds. So that's the good news. I mean,
Well, personally, I'd like to see a job description with detailed expectations built so that everybody, including them, knows what they're expected to accomplish. Obviously, there may be additional requests, as every job might, but at least it's clear what their basic role is and task to complete, and with some judgment of, is that a full-time job?
In the salary ordinance, it is a full-time job.
I mean, it's a full-time position. And it was, like I said, when Jenny left, they never replaced her. They switched everybody around, and then they, hired when Savannah left, but yeah.
And it'd be with with benefits, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a full-time position. If we do 40 hours, if we do all that, it would be, that could be part of the discussion as well. But yeah.
So does that number in the salary ordinance include benefits, or is there an additional cost for benefits?
It would include that number right there. If we did a full-time,
So 45,440 is inclusive of cost of benefits, is that right? Or is that the biweekly pay?
That's just the salary.
That's what I'm
It's-
asking now,
it's
okay.
like anybody else. I mean, it's like any of the other positions to where, they're in that, whether they do the PPO or the HSA. That's a separate thing, yeah.
Okay, it sounds like we don't need to approve this, per se, right? I mean, we certainly
It depends.
could, okay.
Bart's entitled to hire employees to work in his office. But what it sounds like is they're gonna be doing something outside, at least in part, of the normal clerk work, deputy clerk work. Because if they're doing stuff for the police department or the utilities or the
Right.
council.
So it spills over to other areas that we have oversight on.
Best if, again, as you first do a job description, then do an application, and if you want, Bart and whoever can be on the interview committee, and then come back and Bart would have his recommendation. Hopefully it would be the same as that group that did the interview, and then you could approve it by way of a motion.
That sounds great to me, personally.
Yeah,
Yep,
me too.
I see nods, that's good, okay. So yeah, let's get a job description, let's,
Probably your HR person could help you with
right.
the job description.
Yeah, I would like to get input to that myself personally on that job description, because I think there are some tasks that would be helpful for the council.
Roger, until that position's filled, if there's something I can help do, then I'm willing to help until that position is filled, so. For the council, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you.
Well, and I think you guys help quite a bit now. I mean, but you also have other things to do.
Yeah, and let me just say, the fact that I'm saying the council has needs doesn't indicate anything about, I think it's things I don't even ask for help with, because we just don't think of somebody having time. So, I mean, in the past, we hired an engineering company to do some things that that I would expect somebody could help with, that was at a much higher rate, then maybe we could get this done, so. Okay, so we have the next item is cemetery damage updates and total quotes for repairs.
Thank you. It's gonna be hard to get used to. Yes, we were, as far as we were, the insurance, we had some surprises on our insurance. We have McGowan as our umbrella insurance carrier overall, and we had a lot of damage at the cemetery, as Randy was talking about, and it damaged the fence pretty bad. So, it took that whole one section out, and it even damaged some headstones and everything. So we thought the cost was gonna be a lot more, especially for the fence, since there was a lot of detailed work to be done on there. So we were going to file a claim, and I'd emailed that out to the council and everything, and I just kind of went, everybody had talked about that, but we found out we had a very high deductible, so we've decided against that. But we would like to, being that it was under the dollar amount, I was able to approve at least part of it, but I wanted the council to be aware of the whole situation. They came in under around $4,700, $4,200 to $4,700 to be able to fix the fence. It was under $5,000. I thought that was great. I thought it was going to be $20,000 just to fix the fence. So with all and then the tree, I can't remember the guy's name that did the trees. Connor Smith. He did great, and I think it was only around 12 to 16,000 range. We probably need to do some more, but the total cost, with everything, it would still well under the total dollar amount of the deductible, so it makes more sense to be able to take that out of cemetery. I wanted to update as well. Cemetery is already a little under as far as the appropriation. So on the appropriation report, they should be at about 50. June 30th is the midway point of the year, halfway. So they should be about 50%. And they're at 38.74, 35.74. So, I'm going to have to ask for additional appropriations anyway for the cemetery, the repairs and maintenance line item. We know we'll do that anyway. I'll probably have to do that like in October or November. So being that and the collaboration of all the damage and everything, we should be able to just pay that out of that fund. I'll ask for the additional appropriation. We're in good shape on the cash balance on the fund report. So permission to spend that money, I'll have to ask for additional appropriations on the account. But I just wanted to update you that on the cemetery.
Bart, when they had a few years ago, not that long ago, that they had the damage to the fence at the cemetery that I think a vehicle ran into it. Is this the same company or that fixed it? Okay.
Yeah, Lane. Yep. It's a special iron rod, so there's a lot of work that has to be detailed into it. So there's a lot of very detailed work. So he got us a really good price.
Do we need to, sorry, I was a little distracted at the end of that. Do we need to approve this expenditure? Could you restate the total? Right.
Yeah.
Additional appropriation, right.
Which, yeah.
Right. Which is, what was the amount again, the total?
It was 40, well, I might have to get an exact total. Kind of.
43 for the fence.
Okay. So if we did
What about the headstones? You said headstones?
How much? 450 for the headstone.
Okay, 450, okay. So we're talking less than 20,000.
Less than the deductible. It was 25,000 for the deductible, but under that. We could say up to 18,000. I think we cover that with the 450, I believe. That right now.
You make, yeah, let's say up to 20, just to make sure you're
20,
not
okay.
in trouble.
We could say up to $20,000, and we're still well under that. Yeah. We can make, if we make a motion. That would be paid out of the cemetery repairs and maintenance line item, that 1364.
I'll make a motion that we pay up to $20,000 for the cemetery damages, updates, and the repairs.
And I will second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for paying for the repairs at the cemetery. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
And Bart, does he know how many trees are still left out there that like would need to be taken care of at some point?
Randy, what do you think?
There's still a couple that need to be proactive and get them down before they fall down and tear the fence down,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I think Joe
It's
said
bad.
he was gonna call Connor and have him come out and give another quote.
Connor Smith is definitely well under everybody else. Even last year, he well outbid everybody when we got 3 quotes. So yeah, he does a good job. And he's cheap. We
Was
could
it-
maybe get a quote. If,
Yep. Anybody talking, you gotta walk up here. You too, sorry. Yeah, right.
Was it about a year or two ago that someone had gone through and they determined up to quite a few trees that needed to either come down or be trimmed or something?
Yeah, we had trees that were diseased, rotten, and put that together to take those down, yeah. Yeah. You still got, I mean, there's still some bad trees out there. We had a big limb fall down last night with that little storm that blew through here. The other thing too you might consider is the trees that are south of the chapel that are hanging over 109. I mean, they're starting to get really low lying right there on 109. I mean, that's something that's gonna have to be trimmed back one of these days. That would have to take traffic control and the whole deal to do that, you know.
Okay, thank you. I can think of another couple trees that need taken down too, so. I guess we need quotes on all those. I guess we'll keep that separate until you get some quotes. All right, that's the end of new business. Is there any other new business? If not, we'll move to approval of claims. Let's start with the accounts payable voucher, also known as the council docket.
dollar amount for the general council docket is $570,596.24.
Any questions about the docket?
I make a motion, we approve the council docket.
I'll second.
Okay, we motion second. All in favor of approving the council docket, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the payroll docket.
Dollar amount for the payroll docket is $248,438.50.
Any questions about the payroll docket?
I'll make the motion to accept the payroll docket in the amount of $248,438.50.
And I will second it.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Are there other financial matters? All right, legal matters. Any legal matters? No? Okay. We have, it says FPBH, that should say Gonzalez in the future. Is there anyone from Gonzalez here? I don't think so. So I will say Dan Wright had intended to come. I won't go into details. Dan has dealt with significant personal issues over the last many months, but some issues personally now that has, again, kept him from coming. He has assigned another person to take over to make sure they're here. He had to do that late today, so obviously she was not able to make it. So we should expect, and in fact, I'll ask to schedule a special meeting to have the conversation go in depth again on the status of the water and sewer, both water and sewer projects.
I think we need to open this up to other people. I think we need to open this up to other engineering firms and see what other people have in mind.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but she, with it being last minute, I would give her another month, the Gonzalez, to probably come in here, see what she has to say, and give her a fair chance before we said, and just, not saying I'm not against you, but it'd probably be the best interest.
My biggest concern about making a change, and really only concern, is we are in the middle of planning projects, and there's potential delays are concerning to me. I think if we're gonna move forward with these projects, they need to get done. And yes, we need to make sure that we're getting the right updates and the progress is happening. If that doesn't happen, then I would agree, we're gonna need to make a change. But at this point, personally, I think we need to push forward to get as much done as we can and be prepared. We should be hearing any moment, I believe, middle of the month, we were supposed to hear back about the SRF. And I think Dan had reported in an email originally that we did not get into the original lower cost funding, and we were then in what they call the pool, which is higher cost funding. But that also has to be approved because they pool that money and they actually go out and find that money and then assign those to whatever number of projects they can cover. So we need to find out what we have there, and of course continue to talk with people out at the I-70 to see if they can help fund this, because I know there's obviously Speedway redevelopment. We've heard there's potential, but the first meeting we had, we just weren't talking to the right people. They couldn't make any decisions, and so we need to get with the real estate group, I believe, who will be really in charge of the redevelopment. And frankly, Love's up to now has not been really very forthcoming. They were communicating for a while, maybe 6 or 8 or even 12 months ago, but more recently when we started bringing up the idea of helping to fund it, obviously they have a working system, so they're probably reluctant to pay additional to help. They're interested in hooking up, which of course will help pay for it. And as many of you have heard, and I've certainly heard about, there's potential future development out at I-70 that could be significant, I guess, and if that happens, then maybe there's additional funding capabilities there. I'm certainly interested to find out what's possible. Any other comments? Last topic is RDC. No real topics there. We did meet, but nothing unusual. We talked about new potential projects we may get involved with, but nothing specific at this point determined. Any other topics before we close the meeting? I want to thank Jesse for really pushing forward to get our system in place. I know it's not quite there, but he certainly has put in the time, and I know it'll be there soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Put a lot of work into it.
And thank you for everyone.
I just wanted to ask Jesse, just so it's public, how can people access this? What's the best way for the public to access the streaming and all of that, just so they know?
Is the question how to find it? Yeah. Okay. So right now it's streaming on YouTube. So there'll be a link on the website to kind of, the easiest way, right, is just to direct people to our YouTube page for the town of Knightstown. There, all the videos will be there. Yeah, there's like 7 or 8 people.
Do we know
watching.
how many?
7 or 8 was.
Can you see?
Let's say there's 11 right now.
11, okay, cool.
So-
Thank you for joining.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they'll be able to get on there, and then I think the meeting minutes and stuff. I think there was guidance from your office that we would put the minutes and everything online on our website, but have the link to the video out on YouTube.
Right.
So right
Perfect,
now,
thanks.
people can go to the Town of Knightstown Facebook and it's
It's
linked?
actually the website, I think you're saying.
No.
It's going right now on YouTube. I have you right.
Okay. But just so people know. Just so people know, do they go to Facebook and see the link, or do they have to go to YouTube?
No, they go to the link's on Facebook and they can click on it and get right on.
Okay, yeah, well, you just gotta, with people like me and others that aren't computer great, it's important that, you know, they know exactly where to go, because we'll be asked after this meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to
I mean,
clarify.
the easiest way is to go to the YouTube page. It's at Town of Knightstown on YouTube, and right there, the videos will be there.
But it will also be on the town webpage,
Right.
not Facebook, the webpage, where the minutes will show up there also, along with the link. So if
Correct.
somebody wanted to later come back and read the minutes, watch the video, that'll be available for up to 90 days.
So if they go to YouTube, how do they find it on YouTube exactly?
Go to youtube.com and put Town of Knightstown, or youtube.com /at Town of Knightstown.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, one last time. Anyone else, anything before we close the meeting? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you.